right, what's happening, guys? Men's Physique News. This is Tom Cox coming at you guys here with exciting guests that we have today. Back-to-back Governor Cup champ, the governor himself, Xavisus Gayden. How's it going, man?
What's going on? What's going on? How's it going, everybody?
Pretty good, man. Glad to glad to see you. You're looking incredible right now. We're right here under the 2 week out mark from the Olympia, so we're gonna get straight into it, man. How are you feeling? I know you're looking insane right now, but tell us how you're really feeling this close to the show.
I feel real great, actually. It's I have my ups and downs. I have my moments where I have like a little, I guess you can say energy drop, or I feel like I'm lethargic or lagging or whatever. But I remember why I'm doing what I'm doing and what's my goal and the end state, and how far I've come. And it keeps me going.
That's right. If you didn't feel like your tank was getting empty at some points, maybe you're not doing it right. So you've
Yeah.
been through this many times before. You know that's part of the game. So we're just that much closer, man. But since you've turned pro, you've been in the top mix of the top competitors and Olympians year to year. How are you able to compete at this level? Being an active duty Marine, a family man, and running your own businesses. And that's a lot going on, a lot on your plate.
Well, I as a Marine, they always tell us like, a Marine Corps is first, always. But me as a man, I'm always my family and God always first, and then it's the Marine Corps and my Marines, and so on. I apply that mentality to everything. You know, being able to manage everything and then still balance it so that I'm able to be there for the people that I love, which is more important for me because, once your life is balanced out, you're able to do more and you're able to focus more. So, keeping the home front happy and then basically, at work, that is my home front. So I always let work base everything I do around my work and my family.
Got you. And I'm sure it served you very well having such great structure, with your military duties and your training your Marines right there on base close to you. You have to have that really with being a competitor and have that time. I mean, time is very valuable, especially right now, and critical to make sure that you get your training sessions, your cardio, your meals in. So I know that's definitely served you well over the years. Have that
Yeah,
discipline.
and I've had to adapt and overcome in a lot of situations, but it's taught me a lot, and I think that all of that stuff I've been through, the hardships, the good stuff, um, everything has made me who I am today. So I'm able to sacrifice more. I'm able to push harder. I'm basically able to do more because of it all.
Absolutely, man. And of course, we do. I speak on behalf of everyone, Men's Physique News. We do appreciate your continued service for our country. So,
Thank
but
you, thank you.
ultimately, what do you attribute your success to? Like, what has shaped your winner's mentality over the years?
Family. That has always shaped everything I've done. When I first came, uh, actually way back before, when I was in high school, I've always played sports, and I had like this dream about having kids, and I figured I'd have three, which I have three, and I've always wanted my girls first, and and I wanted a boy, and now, after all these years. Um, I'm already everything I've ever wanted. Has majority of it has happened. So it's like everything else is like icing on the cake. Um, but I told myself I wanted to leave something behind for my kids. So everything I've done has been I guess you can say, in the essence of for my family, for their future. So it's never really been for me. Like I don't do anything for me. I receive a lot of benefits from it and a lot of rewards, but ultimately I do it for them. So, when stuff happens, it's not like, oh, I'm this and I'm that. I'm just kind of like, okay, what's next? How can I be better for the next time? What can I do to make myself better? What can I do to bring back something for my family? So, and I use the same thing when I'm at work with my Marines. How can I assist them better? Sometimes it's very, very overwhelming, though. It
I can
really wears
imagine.
me. Yeah, it wears me down a lot. But again, it makes me stronger for the next time that I run into something else.
Right, and just like you said, you kind of worked to earn this place, and you spoke a lot of it into existence. And I know that you said everything else is just just a little extra, cherry on top of the sundae, so to speak. But
Yeah,
one of the biggest things I think that, of course, we're going to talk about is you potentially winning and leaving that legacy behind, but winning the Olympia. And
yeah.
do you think this could be the year to do that?
Oh, I don't think I know. I feel
No.
it. Yeah, I know. At first, like, if you'd asked me that, like, when I was maybe 10, 13 weeks out, I'd be like, but, obviously I can't control everything. I'm not going to walk in there like, oh, yeah, this is mine. No, right now, I feel like it's mine. I feel like I can earn it. So I'm doing everything in my power, even if it's going out of my comfort zone, because that's what you have to do. And, as a Marine, I'm used to doing that. Even when I don't, I'm not boisterous when I should be, or when I am boisterous, whatever the case is. Um, I have work to do, and I'm never going to stop working. And I can guarantee you, when I win that title, I'm not going to give it away easily. Like, it's not going to be given away. I'm going to work my butt off even harder, because that's what I do. I, I don't like failure. I don't like letting. Most importantly, I don't like letting people down. That was like one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with. Is like letting my father down when I was a kid. So, I was always scared of that. So, it's not something I'm okay with. So I work my butt off so that that doesn't happen.
I'm pretty sure that no one can question your work ethic and how you've been consistently improving year to year. But just let's touch on opportunities missed. I think you said it's like things are out of your control, and I'm sure with how as bodybuilders we can be hardest on ourselves. We can be our worst critic. But some things are out of your control, and you had two Olympias that you had to sit out pretty much because of your duties. So talk a little bit about that and how you were still able to overcome that and stay focused and sharp and going into the next season and staying qualified.
Well, yeah, yeah, that was painful to deal with.
I bet.
Very painful. I mean, it wasn't just that. There was a lot of other stuff going on too. Like family issues, and then like work issues, and then sponsorship issues, and I basically when you deal with something, you can take one or two ways, or well, actually three. You can just kind of like be whatever, or you can take the road of saying, okay, I'll just accept it, or you can take the role of I'll take this on and head on, and then I'm gonna tackle it basically. So what I did at first, it threw me for a slump. I was kind of like, wow, I can't believe it just happened. Like I literally wanted to cry my eyes out, and I'm a grown man, but again, I'm a Marine and I'm a gunnery sergeant too. So I'm on deployment, and I got 30 some Marines and soldiers and Dutch soldiers and Marines and that are under me, and they were going through issues. And I went back after training them one day, and I said, you know what, I need to suck this up, and I have to be the leader that they need, and I need to be the mentor that they need. And I just let it go and focus more on them. They were like my kids. I had to take care of them. That's what I was set there to do. It again, it took me a while to get over it, but I realized something. Like God was working on something for me, with me, and that's out of my control. Just like being told 2 weeks from the Olympia, hey, you can't go. And it is what it is. And it's crazy because when, all these negative things happen to me, I kind of look at them like, are you kidding me? But then it comes back. They, like my sister says, they always come back. The individual that told me I couldn't go to the Olympia decides he wants to add me on Facebook and be my friend and start communicating with me. And I'm like, serious? But me being me, I'm not going to be the, and treat them any different. I'm going to treat them the same like I treat everybody else, um, because you know not what you do. You have, if I can't, I have to portray the person that I am because that's who I am. I shouldn't change my decisions or actions based off somebody else's ignorance or their actions or them just not knowing, so, I'm never going to change. It's just who I am. So and then the next year, same thing, being in training and, things lining up. And I said, you know what? I'm going to continue to let God do his work and I'll focus on my family and being the best that I can be as being a Marine. And I can honestly say through all those hardships, through all those hard times, it's paying off. And that's why I feel like right now, I feel like this road is paved already and I'm just riding it right now. But I'm working my butt off so that there's no questions asked later. There won't be any questions because I am working and everybody's telling me they see it. So it's good enough for me. I don't really need any accolades for it. I just want to work for it.
Yeah, bro. I've been following you for a while, and it's undeniable how laser focused you've been in this prep. And I think you hit the nail on the head with saying that everything happens for a reason. Uh, Everything that's gotten you to this point is just that much more of a passionate, burning fire inside of you to show up and be undeniable. And I'm right there with you, man. I think you have a great shot this year, even though some people are writing you off or haven't been following you as much, and you haven't been really in the picture as much. But man, I think they're going to be shocked with what you're bringing to the stage this year, to say the least.
Oh, no, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody will be. And I mean, my physique is completely different from a lot of people's. It's these last 2 weeks are like the twilight zone. Like I'm usually my face. I'm usually always walking around with a swollen face. Like they call me chipmunk, especially since I love cookies so much. But I noticed that at 5 weeks out, my face was already drawn in, and that's never happened. It usually happens the peak week. So it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, man, the diet face is in full effect. I can see. But that's a
Yeah.
good sign. I mean, if you can be covered up in a hoodie and said people are seeing the sunken in cheeks, they know you're coming conditioned and dialed in for sure.
Yep.
But just touching on how the division has really grown from, when it started to what it is now. How do you feel like really with the regulations and what they've implemented in class of physique with the heights and the weight class? Do you think there should be a certain similar standard for men's physique? Because it just seems like over the years how the physiques are evolving and getting more muscular, just it's bigger and bigger essentially. Do you think that is what's needed?
Well, let me say this first. So the first thing about it is, how can I say this? There's that's kind of like a twofold question, because first of all, um, every every athlete is their own individual, So we all have a certain level that we perform at, and not saying that anybody's is better than the others. It's just that life happens. Um, everything happens. So you know how are you able to deal with it? How are you able to carry on? Um, so there's never going to be a consistent pipeline of athletes that are just always there, except for unless you're like unless you just have a different mentality and a vision of things. like I do in some of the other top pros. But, like previously when we talked, things happen. So nobody's going to be hitting every year for like 10, 20 years, So,
Right.
everybody's going to have their time. Everybody's going to come in their prime. I've always felt that in men's physique that we should have like two classes for pros because of the height difference. And now it feels like it's starting to look like that would be a good time to kind of implement, but that's not my decision. Uh, but I also believe that it doesn't matter what shape, size you are. If you come in the best, you're just the best. That's how it is. So whether they change it or not, like I feel like it really doesn't matter. Uh, I feel like your top performers are still going to be your top performers no matter what.
I got you. So essentially, it's really about the overall look and the
And
and
balance.
balance and the aesthetics, the criteria that fits the men's physique. It's not, it doesn't, not what the scale says. It's just who really embodies that idol of men's physique look. Do you feel like you fit that criteria best out of everyone up there, and how so?
I actually feel like I'm, you can say, more than qualified for that. In many aspects, I feel like we need a role model in the division. I love the division. I love everything it stands for. At first, I was kind of like, held back from, withdrawn from it. I was like, I'd rather stay in bodybuilding because I did bodybuilding before men's physique even came out and qualified for nationals. And then they came out with men's physique, and everybody's like, you're gonna be the look that everybody's gonna pick. And it took me a while to go pro, but and everybody already treated me like a pro. I carry myself well, and I still do. I don't do it for any other reason but for the fact that it's me.
As it
I
should
feel
be.
like, yeah, and I feel like I would be a good representative not only for the division but for the industry, um, and that's what it's really about. You know, you want a positive effect. You want a positive environment, mindset. Someone that's not manipulated by by others or anything like that. And I think it'll be a me being an example for the younger athletes and the athletes to come. I feel like in the future that would leave a good mark, as of what we should be like and not what we should be doing. Because I promote, I market, I use social media and everything, but I don't live by it. I could care less if somebody follow me or not. But what I do care about is that they learn or get something out of what I do. That's more important. People tell me all the time, "Hey, I've been watching you," but they don't even follow me. Do I take it to heart? Nope, because they're getting something out of it regardless. And that's what's more important. So um, that's how I feel about it.
I 100% agree, and I definitely see you as being a great spokesman and ambassador of the sport, really because of that. But that kind of leads into my next question. With the men's physique division, out of all the divisions, why does it seem like it garners the most hate or criticism, especially specifically looking at how bodybuilders may sometimes look down on men's physique competitors as being the easy route to get an IFBB pro card. And you're the best person to really speak about this because you went from being a bodybuilder. I didn't even know that, but competing from a bodybuilder, and in a sense, kind of having to swallow your pride, put on the shorts, hide the legs, but you found a division that just fits you the best, and you've worked your way to the top. And in my opinion, you should be respected as such. But why do you feel people still think that way?
Well, I think it's a perception thing. I don't think that bodybuilders feel that way. I feel like bodybuilders feel that it's a joke to them, possibly. I don't know, quote unquote. I don't know. I can't quote that or say it for sure because I don't live with them. I'm not with them 24 hours a day. I think that some may feel like, why should we privy ourselves to certain things when we're not bodybuilders. Like we're not like Phil Heath or Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler or or Sean Roden or somebody. And they have every right to be. Bodybuilding is a staple of bodybuilding. Yeah, we're bodybuilders, but we're not doing what they do. We're doing it on a smaller scale, and that's fine. I did bodybuilding before, and I loved it. I didn't want to stop doing it, but as a Marine, it was better for me to be do men's physique versus doing bodybuilding. I still have to run PFTs. I still have to run CFT. I still have to be in shape year round. I can't gain 50, 60 pounds and then
No.
expect to be doing the things that I do as a Marine. Um, I, I can't. There's no way. So that's why I chose to step down and do men's physique. And it's not a step down. I've worked just as hard trying to maintain being a Marine and being a pro men's physique athlete. Like it hasn't been easy. Um, I feel that more of us need to focus on ourselves and being great at what we do, regardless the division you're in. Because I ain't gonna lie, like I almost crossed over the classic. Um, at the end of the last year, getting sick walking around with pneumonia last year and not placing as high as I wanted to. I still placed, but not as high as I wanted to. Me and Kim were gonna go to Classic, and then we were like, nope, let's compete real quick and see how this goes. And it went really well. We started winning shows again, and my physique changed completely because I took that break. So, and this is the first time that I prepped for the Olympia that I didn't go to the field. I didn't have training. I wasn't deployed. I wasn't moving. Like none of that stuff was happening during this time. I was dealing with some stuff at work and some other stuff, but I didn't let it get to me. So I would say that we focus more on ourselves versus what everybody else is doing because the industry is going to change and evolve regardless.
Right. And I'm right there with you. It really looking at how much the sport has grown just because of the men's physique division. Nobody can deny that. And it really gives people something else to look and aspire to. It's like, not everybody wants to walk around looking like an open bodybuilder to today's standards. So looking at someone who can be functionally fit, you know, not have to force feed yourself in the off season and get to an uncomfortable weight and be able to run around and play with your kids. I mean, this is your division for that reason. I know, and it just fits you well, and this is why it's your home. Now, I have no doubt that you would be able to be successful, step up in the classic physique because you got some legs. You train your legs, and that comes from your bodybuilding background.
Yep.
And the shorts that you have your own board short company. You really capitalized on that. That is a huge, I think, very smart business decision on your part. But way you can give back to the sport, really
Yeah.
to your division specifically. And I can speak to the quality of the shorts myself because I won a customized pair from you from my Border Clash win beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So it's almost like tailored to fit someone who has some quads, some quad
Yep.
sweep in their physique, and I think men's physiques definitely should showcase that as well. Uh, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I love the shorts, and it took me a few runs to like really narrow it down, but we finally came out with a awesome product. This last cut, and I'm very happy. Now I'm crafting a little more, doing some other things, looking at coming out with kids shorts, and we'll see what happens with them. Website's being done, Xavius.com. It's already up, but it's a little short one until the final one will be done here in the next few days. So, a little more improvements, just trying to make it better for everybody. Uh, but yeah, they're awesome and new colors. I've actually went back to the old designs and snatched up some of the colors from the second collection and implemented them in my sequel collection, which is the third one, and they look amazing.
And I could tell the attention goes into the detail, and you're very hands on. I feel like even when this brand blows up, you're still going to be very hands on. This is like your baby, right? So I know it's already growing, it's expanding, and you're going to be reaching kids now, getting in that audience. So that's great, man. But to wrap this up, the final question. And I'm going to say on the positive. I'm not going to say if. I'm going to say when you win that Mr. Olympia title, what are you going to do differently to bring more attention to the sport and to be the best ambassador? You've done an incredible job already, but having that platform, what do you plan to do?
I've I've already started doing a lot of things. Kind of letting the cat out the bag a little bit. We have supplements coming out. I recently signed with High T, and amazing supplement company. They've been primarily based with a testosterone booster. They've been in GNC for years and vitamin shops and stuff, and we're stepping it up a little bit. So be on the lookout. Samples are being made and they're going to be sent to me. It's going to be a stack. We're going to start with a stack, and, it is endorsed by me because I helped create it. Um, there is also a lot of other stuff going on. I'm going around doing a tour. I'll be at Oceanside High School next week as a guest speaker. Um, be going around speaking to service members on bases. That's another tour that I'll be doing. I want to give back. I've always wanted to be in a position to give back, and now that I'm retiring, I'll have that time, to where my schedule isn't so tight that I'm like going to do cardio, running into work and working, and then running to do another workout, then running back to work,
Wow.
and it's like, and I'm getting phone calls and text messages and emails from overseas, from Marines, and like all the time. So, um, and then that's not even including, my main focus, my family, and then my businesses, and my coaching and my shorts. So it's gonna be a change of pace for me, and I'm loving it because I'll be able to spend more time with my daughters and my son. But at the same time, I'll be able to do what I really want to do, and that's I've always wanted to give back to my sister services, the Marine and my Marines, and to anyone that I feel like could use the motivation to do better for themselves.
No doubt, man. And timing is, it really seems like that's the theme of this. Timing is everything, and now it's your time. So before we sign out, I want you to really reach out, say how people can find you or reach out to you or your social media, your platforms, where they go to.
Well, they can pretty much look me up anywhere. All my social media is my name, Xavius Gayden, XavisusGayden, and my website will be Xavius.com. So um, you can. It's easy. I made it simple. I don't need all these extraordinary names and stuff. So it's very simple. Just find me there.
Safe to say you got a very unique name. So
Yeah, very so, very so.
awesome, brother. Well, it's so good to see you. You're doing well, and of course, we wish you continued success and the best of luck this year. Uh, I know I encourage everyone to really follow you and see what you're doing and what you're really changing in the industry, because I mean you are a positive role model for not just me but for every up and coming men's physique IFBB pro is looking to you, aspiring to be where you are right now and where you're going to be. So we appreciate you taking the time. This is Men's Physique News, guys. Till next time.